Hello and welcome to Real Results. My name is Vinod Muthukrishnan. I'm the Chief Growth Officer for the Cisco Contact Center business unit, and we're here to discuss why two marquee brands chose the Cisco Contact Center platform for their most important asset, which is customer experience. Now, it's my absolute privilege to welcome on stage, virtually albeit, two CX pioneers that I respect a lot. We have DeAnna from OceanX and Tamara Jensen from T-Mobile. Brands we love, people we love working with, and we're going to talk to them about customer experience and the contact center. DeAnna, we're going to go for you first. OceanX, we've heard about your name before. What exactly does OceanX do?
Hello, it's nice to be here today. My name is DeAnna Woody. I'm the Vice President of Contact Center Services for OceanX. At a high level, my team is responsible for anything that relates to customer communication, whether it's through inbound sales, customer care, or the many back office support channels such as social media monitoring and adverse event handling. OceanX really has an incredible story as we originated from Guthy-Rinker in 2016. Many of you know Guthy-Rinker as the direct marketing pioneers and the marketing geniuses behind mega beauty brands such as Meaningful Beauty, Crepe Erase, and Victoria Principal, just to name a few. In summary, OceanX provides tech-infused fulfillment services, business intelligence, and customer care designed to help direct-to-consumer brands scale. Today, we support over 25 health and beauty brands with many more in our immediate pipeline.
All right, now you've been on the Webex Contact Center platform for a long time. So obviously the obvious question is, why have you been so loyal to Cisco? What keeps you here?
Well, I can't really take all of the credit here. It has truly been a two-way street. Cisco has been very loyal to us throughout our history. We started on the platform back in the day when it was Transera. Many of you probably never even heard of Transera, but it went from Transera to BroadSoft and ultimately to Cisco. So throughout our 11-year history and the multiple acquisitions, we have been very fortunate to retain some of the same experts that we've had on our account since day one. So with the combination of a strong partnership and that continuous investment Cisco is making to innovate and improve their platform, really the least that we can do is be loyal in return.
And we greatly appreciate that. So thank you for that. You said something very important there that I'm going to come back to later, but let's get to the heart of the conversation, which is what were the business challenges that the Cisco Webex Contact Center platform helped you solve?
So keep in mind, we moved to the cloud platform in 2009. So before making that investment, we really did not control our destination. We simply dropped a percentage of our calls to a variety of vendors, and we hoped for the best. Moving to the Cisco platform solved many challenges for OceanX and ultimately provided a very desirable return on investment. I'll give you a couple of examples. Owning our data, that might sound pretty incredible to some of you, but both real-time and historical data was one of the most powerful results of moving to the Cisco platform. Before this, our vendors owned our data because we relied on their platforms and their resources to do all of the things that we do today for our clients using the Cisco platform. Once we moved to the cloud and we owned our data, within a year, we were able to build our own forecasting tool, which consistently achieves a 98% call to forecast accuracy. This allowed us to bring forecasting in-house. And saved us over $1 million annually as we were outsourcing that role. With an improved forecast, we were also able to significantly improve agent utilization, which led to lower labor cost and a 50% reduction in our abandon rates. Another pretty big challenge for us was that we were able to finally solve with the Cisco platform our inability to design intelligent call routing strategies. Again, we just dropped a percentage of our calls to our vendors, and we counted on them to route those calls to the best capable agent. So since moving to the platform, we've created over 24 unique call routing strategies that each one have helped us to improve our business in ways that either reduce cost or improved revenues. I'll give a couple of examples of that. Spam and prank calls, they get us all, right? They're a distraction. And the telco companies really have not provided a foolproof solution to prevent these types of calls. With the Cisco platform, we were able to launch a human detection and a known prank caller routing strategy. Both of those are unique and they do different things, but now that prevents over 95% of those calls from making it through to a live agent. Major cost savings there for us. Another major use of intelligent call routing is the ability to connect all of our callers with the best performing agent available. So with the integration of Cisco to our customer database, as well as the incorporation of agent performance scorecards, we are now able to improve all agent level metrics such as cancel save rates, first contact resolution, and average handle times. So again, being able to have all of those multiple routing strategies are really dedicated to certain call types help to reduce cost associated with calls we don't really need to answer with a live agent, and then also improved our revenues with being able to match the best agent to the caller. And then finally, I just want to end with one item. I mean, the Cisco platform helped improve business continuity just in general, right? But with the stay-at-home orders domestically and around the globe as a result of COVID-19, we needed to transition our entire workforce to a work-from-home model, and fast. Like, we did not have any time to spare. Because we were on the cloud-based Cisco platform, we were able to seamlessly move hundreds of agents to work from home in less than 2 weeks. And we stood up 2 new locations, one in Guatemala and Jamaica, both within 4 weeks. We wouldn't have been able to do that without the cloud-based routing solution. And all of that allowed us to provide our clients with business continuity and acceptable service levels during this pandemic.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Now, here's my favorite question for all of my guests, which is, let's look into the crystal ball. Tell us what's coming next. What are you excited about?
So we got to see a little bit under the hood recently. So, with what we have seen with the next iteration of Webex, we are very much looking forward to improving our self-service IVR options, which will allow customers the ability to easily access and update their accounts on their own without interacting with the live agent, unless they want to, of course. And then your new customer service, your customer experience manager, all these customer words, right? Customer experience manager looks very promising. I can see it easily improving customer satisfaction and agent efficiency.
Awesome. I promise this is my last question to you, but you alluded to something that a lot of people may not have registered. You've been on Webex Contact Center for more than 10 years. So what's your message to somebody who's considering going to the cloud and is scared about what that entails?
I have been asked this question a few times, and I still struggle with why anyone would be afraid of moving to the cloud. Honestly, I would be scared if I was not in the cloud for all of the reasons that we just talked about, right? My advice would be to not overcomplicate the change. You're getting a new car with a new instruction manual. You'll want to hire experts and understand your weaknesses, have your current solution well documented with thorough understanding of all of your data touch points. And I think the biggest, the takeaway for us, even 10 years ago, and as we've done upgrades recently, is not to underestimate use case testing. Always test, test, test. But anyone that's on the fence of deciding whether or not to move to the cloud, I say take the leap. It was the best thing that we did. And I know we did it a long time ago. And it might be a little scarier if we were to do it now, but it was the best decision that we made and continue to make.
DeAnna, I don't think the term CX pioneer is misplaced when it's used to describe you. Thank you so much, DeAnna. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to come speak with all of us.
Thank you very much. It was nice being here.
What happens when you move to the cloud and bring the full suite of collab together with Contact Center? Before we go to Tamara, I'd love for you to see a video where one of our customers, Vivint Solar, not just made the cloud journey with us, but brought together conferencing, Teams, messaging, headsets, along with the Contact Center portfolio to get the true benefit of end-to-end collaboration. I'm sure you'll love the video as much as I did.
Vivint Solar is one of the largest residential solar companies in the United States. In 2017, we started to look at replacing our contact center system. We just noticed that the quality of the service started to go down. We started to have a lot of outages. We didn't have outages before. And so we knew we needed to replace that solution with something else. We went through a pretty extensive evaluation process. We built out over 130 criteria that goes into how we use our contact center and decided to move from on-premise to cloud. When we were selecting a technology, we knew it had to scale globally, but also a company that we knew was going to be around. Cisco was really the only big player in this space that offered everything that we needed. Webex Contact Center is the only one that checks all of those boxes. In March of 2019, we went live on Webex Contact Center exclusively in our inbound and outbound call center. It allows us to have calling agents in the Philippines and in Bogota, Colombia, and in India, and throughout the United States. We have had better reliability. We've had better unified communication than we've had on any other system that we've ever used. And that was critical when COVID hit, because we had all of a sudden employees that were in our main offices that were now having to work from home. I can't imagine having to do that with an on-premise system. We haven't really skipped a beat, and Cisco technologies have allowed us to do that. And Vinod and Solar couldn't be happier with the decision that we made to go with Cisco and to implement all these technologies.
All right, it's time for us to turn our attention to Tamara. Tamara, thank you for patiently waiting for us. Always love speaking with you. And for the two people in the audience who don't know what T-Mobile does, could you just take us through what you do and what exactly T-Mobile does?
Yes, absolutely. Hey, team. I am Tamara Jensen from the Customer Contact Experience team, part of Frontline Experience here at T-Mobile. So T-Mobile is America's supercharged Un-carrier. We're based out of Bellevue, Washington, which is just east of Seattle, Washington, up in the Pacific Northwest. And we are a wireless carrier. We are focused mostly domestically, and we have brought the team of experts.
All right, I remember when we spoke to you last year, you might wonder why we keep asking you the same question again and again, but what you've done with Team of Experts is truly path-breaking. So take us through what the Team of Experts really is.
Yes, absolutely. So Callie Field has brought us the team of experts, and this has really changed how we do customer care in the industry. And so what we've done is we have focused on 5 primary rules. The first one is we are going to meet our customers where they are. And the second one is we're going to handle that call the first time. And to support those 2 promises, we have built the team of experts. And you'll remember last year at the Cisco Summit, I talked about how we've built a team of experts that will handle the customer call every time that customer calls back. You are matched a customer to a team, and we do that based on market. And we set up these teams so that they can support any call that comes from anybody. And so last year, you'll remember that we have physical proximity as part of the model. And so these agents sit together in a pod, and they are able to raise their hand and ask for help from anybody that sits around them or from their supervisors. But there's also digital signage around them, and so they can see what's happening with their market and their team in real time. As you can guess, this has changed this year.
So that's the change I actually want to talk about. So you had this beautiful pod, team of experts, communicating, collaborating, solving customer issues the first time they call, and then the world changed. COVID happened, everyone had to go work from home. How did you manage that transition?
Yes, so everything has changed this year. And so let me make sure that I first call out, there's a recording on LinkedIn that you can find. It's a Cisco case study recorded with Marshall Caldwell and Omar, where he detailed how Sprint got their agents home. So I'm going to focus on the T-Mobile effort that happened just prior to our merger. So what had happened was we got that call, just like everybody else really in the world, and they said, what if we need to close our contact centers and get our agents online from home? And on March 9th was when we had first started this effort, and we had exactly 0 capacity for agents to work from home. We had set up a proof of concept for about 100 back office users. And so we initially started with that. We focused on what exactly our agents are going to need to work from home. And so there's obviously the equipment. What do they use for a laptop? In COVID, there was no supply chain. And so we actually packaged up the computer that they had on their desktop, their keyboard, their monitor, their mouse, and we sent it home. And then we had to enable VPN. Our agents didn't have VPN because we are physically located in contact centers. Along with that, we had to work with application access. We had to do security. And most importantly for this audience, we had to ensure that we had the best call quality for our customers. They were in a pinch and our agents were in a pinch. And so that is where our Cisco partners came in. Over 3 weeks, 3 short weeks, we went from exactly 0 capacity to migrating every single agent home from 17 call centers. And it was 12,000 agents. It was ludicrous. And that's actually what we called this project because, we started in the first part with 0 capacity. We got 100 concurrent agents using the virtual platform, an MVP solution. And then we worked with our partners here at Cisco and at C1 to source the equipment that we were going to need, package it up, shift it, get it into the data centers, and then online. So we started with 100, we got to 400, we got to 2,000. By the end of March, we shifted home 6,500, and then in 2 weeks, we got the remaining 5,000 agents home.
Wow. You know what's ridiculous? It's not just going from 0 to 12,000 agents working from home. It is also going through a massive merger between T-Mobile and Sprint at the same time. So tell me a little bit about what that scale looked like, bringing the contact centers and the teams together. Very curious on behalf of the crowd.
Yes, thank you. So COVID was an absolutely unexpected blip in the roadmap because we have been hyper-focused on this Sprint merger for more than 2 years. And so as everybody knows, T-Mobile and merged. I think our official day 1 was in August, but we had done a soft launch in April. So it was just minutes after we had migrated our customers home. And so now that day 1 has finally come and gone, we are left with 2 platforms and massive scale. And so we have 2 core routing platforms. We have 2 IVRs. We have 2 workforce management platforms, 2 call recording platforms. I could go on and on. And so what we're focused on now is first and foremost, consolidating and getting to our target state architecture and beefing up capacity to support both the experts and the customers that are going to migrate to this one consolidated platform.
Wow, I'm as excited as you are for this. We're going to live that journey in your shoes in some ways. So I'm looking forward to that. Tamara, again, coming back to my favorite question of the day, which is essentially crystal ball. What's in store? What should we be excited about? What innovation are you looking forward to offering your customers?
Yes, there is so much. There is so much going on, and we can really, really feel it now that we've got our experts at home. And so where before an expert could raise their hand and they could ask for help, they're at home, and there is nobody there that physically can walk over to help them. And so that means the signage that I had talked about before, the asking for help, that all has to happen on that agent desktop, which we all know is already fighting for space. Right? And so what we want to do in this next year is first and foremost, consolidate our platforms and get the capacity that we need to handle the migration of the customers. But the next thing we need to focus on is customer front line. We have got to make sure that they have the answers that they need, they have the resources that they need, but without cluttering the desktop with even more information. And so that means targeted information. And so I think that what's coming with the new desktop through Finesse is going to be monumental. I think that the AI that's coming is going to be monumental for specifically targeting the answers that the expert needs without causing more complexities in what they're trying to view while they're on the phone.
I need to bite my lip because there's so much I want to speak on the topic, but we have only that much time. Tamara, your clarity, your energy, both incredibly inspiring. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again, DeAnna, for sharing your perspective with us. I do want to leave the audience with 3 actions, next steps. First, please do read our white paper by Maggie Smith Analytics, which is around 4 journeys, 1 destination, which is essentially the journey of 4 customers to the cloud with Webex Contact Center. Please do go to cisco.com/go/cc, where there's a lot more content on our contact center platforms itself. And please do join us on day 2 to hear from our friends at Deloitte for a special session on customer experience. Thank you again for joining us. Have a wonderful day.